Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today. Huge thanks last week for Joe Ranieri holding down the fort. But now, Dan Alexander back here with you. Happy to be here for a $2 Tuesday edition of the show where each and every Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to get actionable information in 30 minutes or less. It is a sprint here on Sports Memo Today, getting you the winners. And I mentioned $2 Tuesday. Two of our experts that are giving out plays for just $2 are joining us here on the show today. We're going to be batting leadoff with my man Jeff Michaels. He's going to talk a little college football that you're going to want to run, not walk, to get, as this is an afternoon game we'll be chatting about, and then an NFL play that you have a little bit more time to get to. And then Jesse Schule, the man who stays red hot on the gridiron, going to be talking some college football plays for tonight and this week. And you can also head on over, you wager talkers, check out Tony Mejia. He's got a 5% NBA Tuesday night total loaded. He's on a 4-0 run with those. But right here on sportsmemo.com, Jesse Schule has what he is calling the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Alamo Bowl play. Joe D'Amico has a $5 per 5-star play up as well. And JM Sports, Jeff Michaels, with his first NFL 5-star teaser of the year. You're not going to want to miss out on that. You can get all three of them for just $5 over at sportsmemo.com. But let's get into it. I mentioned you got to run, not walk, for the first play that my man Jeff Michaels is dropping. So let's welcome him in. You can find him at sm.buzz/JMS. And it was usually when I would bring Jeff on, I would talk a little smack about our Sports Memo Fantasy Football League. Well, no more smack to be talked, as first round of the playoffs, sayonara for yours truly. So I know, Jeff, as far as fantasy goes, you're doing a little bit better, but how have things been running, my guy?
You know, I can't complain. Yeah, we got a first round bye in the playoffs last week, so I didn't even check the team. So I felt comfortable in that situation. But, you know, we've been running red hot in the NFL here too. I told you guys, Sunday of next week's NFL is the new year. So 2023, we're kicking it off with a 5% teaser. We've been on a 17-1 run in teasers. We've won 9 straight. So that puts us up like 56 units almost over that stretch. So can't complain about the streak we've been running.
So the whole 2023's first teaser, little tongue-in-cheek salesmanship out of my guy, Jeff Michaels. He's learned from the best in Ralph Michaels, his pops there. Well, Jeff, let's get right into it here, because this game is kicking off at 3:15 Eastern, so you want to get to this and go grab this play right away. It's a free selection in the Memphis and Utah State game. That's the First Responder Bowl. So I won't blow any more hot air. We're getting your take so people can grab it right now. Floor is yours, Jeff. How are you betting this one?
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, guys, this is actually a premium play for me out there, so I did want to get to it and give you something I was confident in. But this Memphis team closed out the year. They won 2 out of their last 3 games, but they covered all 3 of them. Over that stretch, I mean, they held their opponents to under 15 points per game, and they put up nearly 39. You look in terms of yardage, they held their opponents 158 yards below their season average over the last 3 weeks. That includes a game against Tulsa. They held them to their lowest total of the year, just 207 yards. That was 223 yards below what they had been averaging this season. So they do have a big edge too, with Utah State struggling to play on the road. They're just 1-5 against the spread away from home, and they're allowing nearly 35 points per game over that stretch, with a quarterback manning the helm that is -1 ratio both of the last 2 weeks against Hennigan, who's gone 3-1 for Memphis with 3 TDs and 1 interception over the last 3 games. So I do think they have the edge at quarterback over the recent play and the way their defense has been. If they can compete with the way their offense is played on the road, Memphis has a shot to win this game big.
So laying the touchdown, the extra point, and a hook as well, saying take Memphis. It's the side against Utah State. A free premium play here. Man of the people, Jeff Michaels, sm.buzz/JMS. Grab his $2 play right this moment. or package it for $5 with two other plays, one of which from Jesse Schule will be talking here in just a few moments. So walk or run, don't walk. Grab that one. As he was speaking, I was putting the play in myself. So now you can take a deep breath because you have a little bit longer to get to this one, but might not be much longer. You can still get a 6 in this game as the San Francisco 49ers will move to the NFL 6-point road chalk against maybe the team out of all these NFL teams that just can't get out of their own way. 1 step forward, 2 step backs, the motto of the season for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now San Francisco coming to town looking to flex their muscles in this NFC playoff race. How are you going to be betting this one? The Raiders taking on the Niners.
I'm a little bit of a Raiders fan with my dad living out there in Vegas, but they haven't exactly been the team to watch. Yeah, well, my other team's out of the playoffs too, so we don't need to go there in the playoff hunt. But no, guys, I'm looking San Fran minus the points in this one without question. I mean, Vegas has struggled offensively. We've all seen it. They've only faced one top 5 defense all year, and that was Denver. I mean, they did beat them twice, but their offense is near the bottom of the list. So this is going to be this is probably their hardest test to date at this point, because you have a team that is top 5 defensively, as well as impressive on the offensive side. I mean, San Fran's covered 6 straight games. They've won 8 in a row, and they're 7-1 against the spread in those 8 games. And then the Raiders have lost 2 out of the last 3. But one of the big things that stood out to me in those losses, amongst others, have been the turnovers by the Raiders recently. They've lost at least 2 turnovers in 4 out of the last 5 games, and they've only forced more than one once. The 49ers haven't turned the ball over more than 1 time in a game since the end of October, and they've had 2 or more turnovers forced in 5 out of the last 6 games. So they've protected the ball better. They've forced the turnovers better. And Vegas rushing for 119 yards and completing just 53% of their passes over the last 4 weeks. So the offense has struggled even more over that period, And then you have a team that's led by Shanahan that's 8-0 against the spread in January as their head coach. And he's a perfect 10-0 against the spread after holding an opponent to under 100 yards rushing in 4 straight games. So when that rushing defense is rolling, so is their team. Give me San Fran minus the points this weekend.
San Fran laying the spot for my guy, Jeff Michaels. Jeff, we talked about how the $2 play you're excited for. It is the first 5-star teaser of 2023. And you have anything else that you're excited about? I know bowl season's been kind to you. You're also looking on the hardwood with college basketball. So what else will people find when they head on over to sm.buzz/JMS? Let the folks know.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Obviously, $2 Tuesday is the best deal you're going to get today. 3 plays, $5, all big plays. But I do have a huge package over there too. Not 1, but 2 10% college football plays. One's going at the end of this week, and one goes at the beginning of next week. So they are in a package together. You can bring them both in, and two of the biggest plays of the college football season for myself.
You heard it straight from Jeff Michaels. He has a huge package up at sportsmemo.com. Go and check that out. Grab those plays right this moment. And just to recap, of course, the 49ers laying the chalk. And he's also looking, you want to go and grab this one right now with Memphis, the 7.5-point favorite against Utah State. If you got to the show late, well, you might have just missed out on a big winner there. Time will tell. Let's welcome in our second guest here today. It's Mr. Perfect himself, Jesse Schule, the Iceman, joining us. Always a pleasure when I get to chat with you, Jesse. You, too, are one of our $2 Tuesday handicappers. How's it been running, my guy?
Well, I guess they're not calling me Mr. Perfect anymore. They're going to have to call me Mr. 92% because 11-1 now with my 5-star NFL plays this year. So look to get back on track here next weekend, but still had a decent week with NFL. I won all of them except for the big one. Unfortunately, I made a mistake and backed Brady in the Bucks and paid the price.
Yeah, you were not alone. Seemed like a lot of the marketplace was thinking the Bucks roll in that one. So we all got by the GOAT, who seems like starting to go the way of Peyton Manning, the way that arm looks every now and then. So, Jesse, let's start getting into some of these plays, and then we'll talk about what you have up at your page, sm.buzz/JS. A game also going tonight. We don't have to exactly sprint to get this one, as it's the nightcap. 10:15 Eastern, we got the guaranteed rate bowl. It's Wisconsin, the 4.5-point chalk against Oklahoma State. Total in this one has just been screaming down. 4 points it's come down from the opening line around 48. It's now sitting at about 44. So, Jesse, how are you going to be betting this one with a little bit of movement going? You just looking towards the favorite with points maybe being more of a premium, or what?
Well, it's always a challenge to handicap these bowl games with all the opt-outs and injuries and transfers, but neither of these teams will have their starting quarterbacks. Of course, I think the Oklahoma State team will miss Spencer Sanders more than Wisconsin's going to miss Graham Mertz. There's a couple angles on this game that I really like, one of which I don't really hear anybody talking about it, but this is going to be Jim Leonard's swan song with Wisconsin. He took over as head coach after they fired Paul Chryst after a 2-3 start, and you could see a big difference with this team. It seemed like noticeably the Badgers preferred playing for Jim Leonard rather than Paul Chryst. They were a more inspired team as soon as he took over. He ended up winning 4 of 7 games. And he'll be the interim coach tonight. He will not stay on the staff as the Badgers picked up Luke Fickell. So this is his last hurrah. And the other angle I'm looking at is the one that everybody is talking about, which is Braylon Allen, the Badgers running back, going to be attacking this Cowboys defense that really couldn't stop the run, especially at the end of the year. Oklahoma State allowed over 170 yards per game this season, ranking near the bottom in the Big 12. They gave up 250 rushing yards to West Virginia in their last game of the regular season. They lost 4 of their last 5 games. Braylon Allen was talking in the press conference, suggesting he thinks he's going to have a big night, and I happen to agree with him. I think the Wisconsin running game should get it done here. I do like Wisconsin as the favorite in this one.
Laying the 4.5 against Oklahoma State. And yeah, man, if you're trying to bet these bowl games, that's why I'm kind of glad that you guys did 2 games that are going here today. We have one that'll be a look ahead we'll talk about here, but man, it's last second opt-outs, it's late line moves. I mean, it's like trying to bet NFL preseason games where you try to read the tea leaves, but you never truly know what's going to happen. Although NFL preseason is something that's pretty kind to you as well. So fingers crossed these line moves aren't killing them, Jesse, right?
Yeah, I can only hope I'm as successful during bowl season as I was during the NFL preseason. But
lobbed up that softball for you to spank out of the park right there, my guy. So let's talk this Pinstripe Bowl. Speaking of spanking it out of the park, this one going to be played at Yankee Stadium. This one is on the 29th, goes around 2 Eastern time as the kickoff, as the Minnesota Golden Gophers are the double-digit favorites. They're taking on the Syracuse Orange, who kind of had an up-and-down season in the regular season. Talk about the total move clicking down in the previous game. This one has just seen all kinds of love. So could we finally have like a bowl game shootout? The over up 6 points from the opener. It's now sitting around 71. There's even some 71.5s out there. What do you think? Golden Gophers, Orange. How's Jesse Schule betting this one?
Well, very similar to the last game I broke down. Obviously, the opt-outs are going to be huge. Syracuse is going to be missing a lot of guys, none more important than Sean Tucker. Their offense revolved around the running back, and he's not going to be in this game. He's going into the NFL draft. And also, offensive coordinator Robert and I think they're going to miss him. He had this offense sort of firing on all cylinders early in the season, but something happened at Syracuse after the Clemson game. I don't know if you can remember that. They probably should have won at Clemson. They had a double-digit lead late, and they blew it. A lot of players got banged up in that game, and then their next game, They lose in a blowout to Notre Dame. They give up 246 rushing yards. They lose in a blowout to Florida State, give up 230 rushing yards. Lose in a blowout to Wake Forest and give up over 200 rushing yards in that game. Wake not really even known for running the ball. And now they're facing a Minnesota team that their quarterback, Tanner Morgan, may or may not go. I've heard some suggestions that he might just take a few snaps just to get into the game as his last college game if he's not feeling 100%. But I'm not really worried about that. What I'm looking at here is much like the last game. You got a star running back that's going to play. He's probably going to have some big, beefy offensive linemen that are going to be clearing the path for him. And Mo Ibrahim, 1,594 yards, 19 touchdowns during the regular season. I think he's going to have his way with this soft Syracuse run defense. And I'm going to back Minnesota as the double-digit favorite.
Yeah, and we're looking at mainly 10s here all across the odds screen. There's a rogue 9.5 there. So if you are able to shop around, get that 9.5, you don't have to worry about that dreaded push, but looking like a lot of 10s. So if you can find that 9.5, grab that one for sure. So Jesse, let people know when they head on over to the page, whether you're Mr. Perfect, whether you're Iceman, Mr. 92% still has a decent ring to it as well. What are they going to find when they head on over to Mr. 92%, his page over at sportsmemo.com, sm.buzz/JS.
Well, if they get over there quick, they could probably catch my early soccer game in the Premier League. The Premier League started up again. I promised to do big things at the World Cup, and all I did is hit over 70% of my plays. I believe I was 15-6 overall at the World Cup this year, which is pretty much what I set out to do, and pretty happy with that. And yeah, we'll keep that soccer run rolling in the Premier League. We got the $2 Tuesday play on the Alamo Bowl. Of course, any game that takes place in the state of Texas. I like to call it my Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And yeah, you're going to want my NFL plays this weekend. I still am #1 overall with NFL for 2022 at SportsMemo with NFL this season.
Whether it's the pitch, the hardwood, the gridiron, doesn't matter. My guy, Jesse Schule, is doing damage. And he mentioned it there. Head on over to his page, grab his Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and why not up it? $3 more, and you get Joe D'Amico's 5-star play. You get a 5-star teaser from JM Sports. He let you know about how well he was running on those as well all season long. So you can get the first of the new year. Indeed. So we hope here at Sports Memo today that you have enjoyed and had a terrific holiday season. We still got one more show left for the year of 2022. And if you enjoyed the show, all we ask you to do, hit that little bell. Make sure you subscribe. You never miss any of our great shows here at Wager Talk TV or Sports Memo TV. And drop below in the comments. Let us know what you're going to be betting on, what you're thinking. You agree, you disagree, all comments welcome here right below. And the other thing we ask you to do, head on over to these guys' pages. We just told you how to get over there, or just go to sportsmemo.com. But that's going to do it for us. Big thanks to Jeff Michaels, JM Sports, and Jesse Schule. Great thanks to our guy Eric behind the scenes doing a terrific job. I'm Dan Alexander, and we will be back on Thursday getting you actionable information in 30 minutes or less right here on Sports Memo Today.